Hello there YouTube, my name is Chuggy and today I am playing some Battlefield 3, playing some Conquest on Caspian Border, and this week guys, it's Challenge Chuggy Week 2. Guys, I had one hell of a challenge, I'm not kidding you, this week, which I'll be talking about in a minute, but today I'm not only going to be talking about the challenge and how I found it and I don't know, any learnings I took from it, but I'm going to be talking about the Battlefield 3 DLC, which has been announced by EA and DICE, with my impressions and also, I'm not going to lie, I think some controversial views on some topics, but anyway, I'll come to those as and when. Anyway, this week's challenge is, well, it was set by SP33R0 Mint, and their challenge was, as you can see on screen now, knife only. You have to have a positive kill-death ratio and to capture at least 3 objectives. Wow, that's quite the tall order. Now, I won't lie, I did feel quietly confident before starting this challenge because, well, I had about 400-500 knife kills. I was kind of aware of how to get, kills with the knife, frequently, effectively. And I was kind of like, okay, this shouldn't be too bad. Ooh, was I wrong? As I'll talk about in a bit, certainly the knife, just using the knife is a unique challenge. But anyway, one thing I need to mention before we really get into the gameplay is that it did specify knife only. Now, knife only to me means just using the knife, no other weapons, deliberately anyway. There are 2 moments where, well, first of all I toss a grenade, I think I damage someone, and I fire a pistol. That was pure instinct, habit, reflex, no kill was earned by doing it. There was some damage, but I later finished the guy off with the knife anyway. And I literally kicked myself both times. Both were just habits of reflex, oh heck, enemy, do something. So you'll have to forgive me for that, guys, and, well, if you don't want to count this as a completed challenge, fair enough, but still, just, heat of the moment thing, you just completely forget about what you're doing, and blimey, I literally was kicking myself. But anyway, I'll declare that straight away. I'll call out those moments as and when they happen. But anyway, this week's challenge, really tricky. The thing with a knife is obviously to get a guaranteed one-hit kill, you need to do, if you're the knife, humiliation kill, let's say, where, the camera's drawn, you see the knife go right into the guy, you usually see their face going, ugh. Pretty graphic, to be honest, brutal, but gets the job done. It makes you realise that you have just literally just killed someone with your own hands, but never mind. Yeah, really challenging. Getting around and flanking people I don't find too particularly difficult. What annoyed me though a lot with this was that you literally had one shot. The second the enemy saw you and you didn't have your knife in them, you were done. And as you'll see several times, for example, I'd be sneaking up on someone and boom, dead. Just literally they'd either just turn around at the right time or saw me or something like that. You had to really pick your moments and where you positioned yourself. Having said that though, I did get a couple of really pretty funny sequence of events, including one moment where, I kid you not, there was a guy looking me directly in the eyes and wasn't sure if I was there or not, but again, I'll call that out in a bit. So the thing with a knife, as I've mentioned, it's a one-shot thing. If you go purely knife only, you're dead, just like this, okay, he wasn't there when I ran around the corner, but I'd have to literally commando lunge to even have a chance of getting him. Thankfully, the knife in Battlefield is not a one-hit kill by just swiping it, a la Call of Duty. Personally, I think it's ridiculous that melee is a one-hit kill. In Battlefield's case, I can kind of buy it since, you're taking out the fight, you can't do anything while the animation plays, etc. You're vulnerable. But using a knife, to beat, for example, a shotgun at close range, I kind of go, not so sure. But anyway. So the challenge, really challenging. Thank you very much, where's it gone? There we go, SP33R0 Mint for it, and thank you actually to the 4 people who voted for it as the best, or as the challenge to challenge me this week. If you have any suggestions for a potential challenge for me, by all means, please do leave it down in the comments below. Could be a challenge you want me to try and complete, the setup you use, say, on Assault, or just something, in between. By all means, do leave it down in the comments below, and as usual, the most thumbed up comment will be chosen for next time's Challenge Chuggy. So, again, thank you very much to the 4 people who thumbed up SP33R0 Mint's challenge, and, well, thank you to SP33R0 Mint, there we go. I think I'm getting the hang of saying this name now. Thank you very much for the challenge. Great challenge, really trying, but the sense of satisfaction, especially at the end of this game, and you can probably tell the result by the fact I'm uploading it, massive, massive. Exactly what I was looking for when I started this little mini-series. So anyway, thank you very much for that. That's that side of things talked about. So, the main bulk of today is I'm going to be talking about the DLC, my impressions, but also something a little bit controversial, as I've mentioned. Now, for those of you who don't know, EA and DICE, last week at the Game Developers Conference over in San Francisco, announced 3 new bits of DLC coming to Battlefield 3 in the very near future. They are titled Battlefield 3 Close Quarters, due in June, Battlefield 3 Armored Kill, due in, I believe, August, a few months after June, and after that, in the winter of 2012, Battlefield 3 Endgame. Now, first thing to say is none of them are the All-American map pack, which I was talking about before, but I'll come to that in a minute anyway. So let's do this chronologically, if you will. Let's talk about Battlefield 3 Close Quarters. Now, for those of you who don't know, here's the premise. Close Quarters, indoors environment, 2 to 16 players, so small player count, all about, well, CQC fighting. Infantry only, as well, I should mention. Infantry only fighting in buildings and things like that. And features, well, this is dubbed by, I guess, the EA marketing chaps, HD destruction. I don't know how that's different to the destruction in Back to Karkan, where it was enhanced destruction, but still, certainly from the gameplay video, which, well, you'll find down in the description below, it looks great. In terms of everything seems to be destructible. Walls, floors, it just, all sorts of crap seems to be going on. And it's certainly something a little bit different, something you wouldn't, I guess, expect to see as someone tries to roadkill me. Something you wouldn't expect to see from the Battlefield game. Battlefield is normally known for its, for example, colossal maps and vehicle warfare. The very fact that, obviously, Close Quarters isn't that, is a bit interesting, a bit controversial. And personally, I like it. I'm not going to lie, I think that Close Quarters is an excellent idea. The thing with Battlefield is that, its massiveness, its openness, its vehicle warfare, it makes Battlefield Battlefield. It makes itself unique in that regard. But the thing is, having played, for example, Operation Firestorm, hell, Caspian Border, now on console where we only have the 24 players, it's getting a bit tired, the massive running around, just running from flag to flag to flag. Now, you'll probably say, well, okay, you're doing it wrong, first of all, to complain and make a point like that. You should be playing the game on PC. And yeah, I buy that argument. In fact, I'd go so far to saying if you want to, play a first-person shooter properly, you should be doing it on PC. I, for various reasons, do not. For instance, I can't afford to continually maintain and build a PC to run, all the latest games and whatnot. I don't have the money to do it all the time. The fact that I don't like Windows is, well, a topic for a whole other video. I hate Windows with a passion. But personally, the reason I play on console is, first of all, it's a lot more cost-effective, personally, and it's just what I've got, it's what I can afford to do. And certainly, it's a pity that these, they're quintessentially Battlefield maps, but you can tell that they were designed with a PC focus. I have no problem with that whatsoever. It's just a pity that, these, massive maps, you hardly see any action on them. So the first sort of thought I had when I saw Close Quarters was, hey, Close Quarters, that means there's going to be a lot of action. Good. The second thing which went through my mind is, hang on, this is building to building combat, and here's the grenade thrower. Do I get a hit marker? Do I? Yeah, I do. I do get a hit marker, but I finished that guy off anyway. So I hope you can forgive me for that, please. So yeah, the building to building combat. The first thing which went through my mind when I saw that was, that's quite like Rainbow Six. Well, Rainbow Six Vegas. And for those of you who don't know, Rainbow Six Vegas was the first-person shooter I played on, if you're this generation of gaming console. And it was where I met my squad. And in fact, shout out to Matt and Tom, who are in this particular game. Yeah, the building-to-building warfare, I kind of went, this is interesting. Rainbow, for instance, Rainbow Six Vegas, very team-based, team-oriented stuff, in buildings. Hey, this is good. And since, well, for instance, there hasn't been a Rainbow Six Vegas or sequel, or, well, Patriots is coming, but still, there hasn't been a Rainbow Six-style game come out in a little while. Okay, great, that will fill the void quite happily until Patriots appear. I'm recording this on Tuesday. Today, DICE have released the, if you will, teaser video for Close Quarters, and sure enough, it's exactly that. Building, close quarter environment, destruction, gameplay, shooting, exactly what I've been missing from Rainbow. So I'm kind of like, great, I'll be able to combine my favourite first-person shooter, Battlefield, with my favourite type of, first-person shooter playing, Close Quarters, a la Rainbow, with teamwork and stuff. Great. I cannot see how this can go wrong. On top of that, some weapons have been shown in this video. For instance, I think it's the L86A1, the light machine gun, let's just call it, variant of the L85A2, has been spotted. Great, more British weapons. Well done, DICE. Thumbs up from me. Along with the ACR, which is, I think, dubbed the ACWR. I don't know if that's a licensing thing or something like that, but that's there, along with the MTAR-21, again from Rainbow Six. I kind of went, because that was my go-to weapon along with the G3A3, and apologies if I've deafened anyone with that little E, I'll refrain from E-ing again. Yeah, you know, that was one of my go-to guns from Rainbow, so again I was going, oh wow, it's going to be Rainbow, it's amazing. What else? Oh, the Spaz 12 is making an appearance, the AUG's making an appearance, the Scar Light, I think, has been spotted as well. Loads of great weapons, an interesting, you know, new place to take Battlefield. Fantastic. I'm, you know, I'm not going to lie, I'm really looking forward to it. So June, that is due in June, a week early again for the PlayStation users. So lucky old me, I'll be able to get some gameplay up for you, and you can have a look, see if it's, you know, worth your time. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And what I like about the 3 bits of DLC is, if you will, this is one extreme of the Battlefield spectrum, close quarters, etc. Battlefield's known for its open map, so what have DICE got with their second piece of DLC? Well, it's Battlefield 3 Armored Kill, which is massive open maps with a vehicle sort of flavour, or vehicle warfare focus. Perfect. So you get the, if you will, the quintessential Battlefield style of, you know, massive maps, vehicle warfare, in one bit of DLC, and you get all the infantry and all the, you know, infantry Battlefield play in the other. The two spectrums have been covered, surely everyone should be happy. As it turns out, they're not, and I'll talk about that in a minute, and that's my controversial point. Anyway, so that's due out a few months later, and is supposedly going to feature the largest Battlefield map ever featured in Battlefield, so, whoo, blimey. Bring it on, I say, I'm up for a jog. Here's an enemy awareness fell. See, I just spotted that guy? I'm going to run up right beside him, and he's not going to do a thing. I don't know what he was doing. He's wriggling around. I was kind of like, oh crap, run. And I see this guy, like, right, chase him. Getting my cardio going today in this game. Anyway, tangent aside. So yeah, you know, you got the two extremes of very close quarters combat, very massive open combat. The extremes have been covered. Battlefield players everywhere should be overjoyed with what they're hearing. They're not, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, the final bit of DLC is one not really many people know about. It's called Endgame, Battlefield 3 Endgame, and is due out in winter 2012. And, well, the contents is unknown. Now, you remember me talking about this thing called or what was dubbed, the All-American War, or the All-American Map Pack. Supposedly going to feature locations like San Francisco or New York or Miami, things like that. And it's kind of like, yes, you know, I want to have a tank fight on the hills of San Francisco, or chase people in boats on the Hudson River. Yes, it sounds good. I want to be a part of that. I still think that that's going to be involved somehow in Endgame, because personally I think Endgame's going to be something to do with the story. How, well, without spoiling anything, how the story was left off. It seems pretty open to things going on between Russia and the United States. So who knows, you might see a Battlefield Bad Company 2 style invasion going on. So that could play out in terms of those maps. The other thing which I find interesting is if, well, you watched Question Time Part 6, my last upload on a Wednesday, I talked about the rumour of dinosaur mode being in Battlefield 3. Now, some very clever guys over on Reddit have dissected some of the pack shots which were released along with the DLC, and apparently the pack shot for Endgame looks suspiciously like a scene, as I get confused by what on earth these black things are in this building. I kind of go, oh right, they're generators, you can't walk through them. Ugh. Anyway, some very clever guys over at Reddit had realised that this pack shot was very similar to a screen or a scene from Jurassic Park, and of course people going, oh my god, dinosaurs. Who knows what it could be. DICE are being very cagey with it, but you never know with DICE. They seem to have a really good sense of humour. The number of Easter eggs in Battlefield are numerous, so bring it on. So lots of interesting stuff. Now, as I've mentioned, the DLC, it seems to cover the angles, the spectrums of what, you know, Battlefield could be, and I could see no reason really why people would be annoyed with what DICE will be releasing in the near future. How wrong I was. The community seems to be in uproar, and I still don't really quite get why. But what disappoints me further is what the community is doing to itself. So, the close quarters nature of building fights of course, evoke one emotion in terms of first-person shooters, Call of Duty. And the number of rage threads I have seen on forums, online, just in general. I mean, heck, even the comments on the Close Quarters video, which I'll be linking you to in the description at the time of, well, recording this commentary, are full of, oh, great, Call of Duty, rah, rah, rah. And I kind of go, guys, alright, Call of Duty might have small maps, but Battlefield is about teamwork, alright? That's something that Call of Duty, frankly, doesn't emphasise on at all. A single player can win a game in Call of Duty, a team has to win in Battlefield. And to be honest, as long as they stick to that team mechanic, I don't see why Close Quarters is going to be a problem. All I'm hearing is whining, probably from people who can't fight infantry on infantry. Now, I could go on for ages about what is and isn't a Battlefield map, but to be honest, guys, at the end of the day, it's what EA and DICE are, producing. If you want to send a message saying, I'm not interested in this, it's quite easy. You don't buy it. You don't, and this is what really makes me sad about the community, as I try to sneak up with that guy, but I actually get grenaded. How about that? This is what's making me really sad about the community, is that I'm seeing members of the community going full out, going, oh, well, if you support this, you're a you're a COD noob, blah, 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 blah. I see the community just going up in arms over what seems to be the silliest things, and it seems to be ruining, or at least in my eyes, it seems to be detracting and ruining the Battlefield, what is the essence of Battlefield, the players, the team camaraderie, which Battlefield has. And I can only see this as being a bad thing, to be honest. Okay, you may have your objections, that doesn't mean you need to enforce your objections upon everyone, okay? Everyone's going to have a different opinion to everything. This is my opinion, you may have another opinion. And actually, to that matter, that effect, if you want to leave your views down in the comments, please feel free, I'd love to have a little bit of a chat about it. But basically, I'm seeing areas of the Battlefield community just going all out, sort of nuclear on each other, saying, oh, this is good, this is bad, rah, 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 rah. And, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it. That's how you send the message to EA and DICE, alright? You don't, destroy other players. I think it's incredibly, well, stupid, snobbish, ignorant to even write something off before you've played it, or at least seen how it seems to play. And here comes this particularly funny moment. This is the main reason I wanted to upload this game. I won't talk about it. Just watch what happens. This guy's here like, yeah, I killed that guy. Wait, who's this? You alive? You alive? And the guy was going, exterminate. The guy's probably going, oh my god, he could have killed me. I just wish there was, like, I don't know, an animation from the front where you could just, like, put the knife through the guy's chin or something. Wow, that sounds really evil, doesn't it? Yeah, funny moment. That made me laugh a lot anyway. So yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, this. I just find it incredibly, childish and dim that players are, attacking each other for the sakes of what will be DLC. If you don't want to play it, don't buy it. It's easy. I didn't buy Modern Warfare 3 for that exact reason. I didn't want to have more of the same. Easy. I didn't buy it. I didn't want to rage about it because I bought it and, oh, look, I was, it's the same. Who would have thought it? Look. Don't buy it, don't call out other players, and to some degrees, the actual, big community fan sites haven't helped themselves here. I'm talking at you, Don't Revive Me Bro, I'm talking at you at Battlefield.io. There's been some pretty, for example, I'm particularly citing one particular thread, again I'll leave it down in the description, where basically a guy sort of saying, what's going on with the community, just seem to be hating on DICE. Okay, fairly, they haven't been giving us much news, etc. But there's no need to go thermonuclear on them. At the end of the day, they need to do what they got to do, etc. It just seems to be the reaction of, well, you're wrong, you're not with the community, get out. And I just kind of go, no, guys, no. That isn't the start of something good. Anyway, personally, I'm very disappointed with the way that the community's handling itself. I think that, I don't know, it just seems very petty, very silly to, lose such a great thing, being the Battlefield community, over something so daft as a map pack, or the way that the community is conducting itself. Personally, guys, business is business. If you don't want something to, continue to occur, say, like map packs, don't buy it. Long and short of it, if they get bad sales, lo and behold, people will notice, alright? There's no point raging on and on and on, to try and get something to change now. It won't, okay? For the exact same reason I ask you guys for feedback on all the videos I produce, because I want to know what you think of them, alright? Because this isn't a money transaction, I'm providing this for nothing, it kind of removes that element. But anyway, it's one of those things, okay? I don't know if I'm trying to spread a message here of don't be intolerant or what, but still, people have different views on things. Just because they have a different view to you doesn't mean that you're right, okay? Or they're wrong. Alright, there's the old sort of sentiment, let's agree to disagree, and here comes the pistol shot, which again I go, why? But again, I don't damage him, so it's fine. Or hopefully fine. So ultimately, guys, alright, the DLC, I'm not going to lie, I am stupidly hyped for it, but I'm just really disappointed at the way that the community is, you know, just reacting and behaving. It just seems to be like a spoilt child. And I'm kind of going, why? Why? It's so silly, so futile. And I hope that you can understand, you know, where I'm coming from here. I love Battlefield as a game. I love its community. It's what makes it special. And I just fear that over the daftest of things, we're going to lose such a great community. Anyway, that's my 2 pence on the DLC. I am really looking forward to it. I will be bringing you, no doubt, gameplay from all of them. I like the massive open stuff. I like the close quarters stuff. Variety never hurts, alright? But if you have an objection, keep it to yourself. Show it in the way that will actually work. Don't rag on other players. Anyway, guys, this gameplay is literally about to wrap up. And as you have seen, or as you will see in the scoreboard, I achieved the objectives, kind of, if you discount the grenade and the pistol shot. I achieved the objectives, I did get a positive KD, I did cap the 3 objectives, and it was somewhat knife only. Unfortunately, we did get a loss, but that's the thing. We're playing against a really competent team, and I'm hoping that with new DLC, the community will reinvigorate itself, more competent teams will be, you know, appearing as a result. But anyway, I'm waffling here. It was a really good game, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I certainly enjoyed playing it anyway. So guys, that was this week's Challenge Chuggy and a little bit of a discussion about the DLC. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could leave a comment for what you would like to see me do next in terms of Challenge Chuggy, please do feel free to. If you could even leave a like, dislike, whatever you believe the video deserves, that would be fantastic. That really helps me out a lot in terms of judging if the video was good or not. And if you're new to my videos, you can always subscribe. So guys, thank you so very much for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, hope you enjoyed the commentary, and guys, I'll see you next time out on the battlefield.